Well, good morning. It is a beautiful morning. Kind of the misty clouds all around. It's cool. I love being out here. Barbara Richardson, good morning. Jim and Kathy Fuente, welcome this morning. Good morning, everybody. Jeremy and Wendy, welcome to you this morning. Letitia Sexton, good morning. There's Deanne Fine, good morning. Welcome everybody on this Wednesday morning. Jan Akins, good morning. Stacy Riggle, good morning to you. All the way from Wyoming this morning. Mike and Kim Johnson, I see you there. Good morning. Lori Cares, Janisa Bush, Stephen Andrea Hauser, Sally Crocker, good morning. Welcome everybody. Debbie King. Love seeing all these names pour in. Daryl and Suzanne from Arizona watching this morning. Good morning to you. So we are in Psalm 33 today. So if you have your Bible, you can turn there. Psalm 33. Karen Lowe, good morning. Welcome to you this morning. And I had so much fun praying through this psalm this morning, meditating and praying through the psalm. And I never know exactly what the morning will look like. You know, I wake up, get out of bed, I open the Bible, drinking my coffee, and okay, what psalms am I going to read today? I mean, there's the prescribed number, but I don't know what the content is. When I'm first going to open my Bible, so I'm always like, okay, God, what do you have for me today? And it never fails to really lift my spirits to where, if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling up, whatever it is, it seems like the right psalm is always there. And so this morning I was just having fun. It was just a fun psalm to me. This weekend, and I'll tell you why, and I hope you enjoy this as well as I kind of bring out this analogy. So as most of you know, this weekend is Super Bowl Sunday. And I don't know if you have, a particular team in the Super Bowl. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you're a fan of football, likely you'll be watching it. I enjoy watching football, but I hardly ever watch games. I generally only start paying attention when it's the playoffs and then the Super Bowl. I definitely want to see the Super Bowl. It's fun, to be a part of that. But I'm not, I'm not like a super fan where I own jerseys and merchandise from, my favorite team and all of that. But I'm telling you what, there are super fans out there who on Sunday afternoon will be donning their favorite team's apparel, hats, jerseys. They'll decorate their house in a particular theme. And every time their team scores in any way, or a play, even just down to a regular play, they're wanting a first down, and all of a sudden their quarterback drops back and they send a pass over to their receiver and it's caught in first down, and I guarantee that in households all over the United States, there will be much cheering going on every time that the fans' team does something successful. It's so fun, it's so exciting, and it's fun to just lift up your voice and cheer your team on. And how much more exciting if you're in the stands, right? So this is going to be the first Super Bowl that there are very few people in the stands, but nonetheless, if you are there in the stadium when this is happening, all the more exciting, and all the more important. You're going to wear your home team's jersey and so on. So this is the image that I want us to kind of get in our mind today as we read Psalm 33. And I'm going to turn to it, and this is what makes it so much fun to me, because the opening words of the psalm are this: shout for joy. I'm thinking of this stadium filled with fans that are so excited and their team is doing something great. Shout for joy, verse 1 of chapter 33, in the Lord. O you righteous, praise befits the upright. And so, and he goes on to say, give thanks to the Lord with the lyre, make melody to him with the harp and 10 strings, give him a new, or sing to him a new song, play skillfully on the strings with loud shouts. And so not only are they shouting to the Lord with their voices, but they're picking up instruments. It's like the college band in the stadium and doing the fight song. And this is an amazing, exciting thing. And who are the fans? They are those whose heart is aligned with God. Shout for joy in the Lord, you righteous. Those whose heart and life is patterned after the upright nature of God, right? We're the fans cheering on God. Yes, this is so great and it's so exciting. And the reason I picture this stadium filled with people is because that's what comes to mind when I think about donning the jersey, the colors of my God. My life dawns the colors of my God. I am righteous because of him. I am upright because I have my eyes have been opened to the truth of God, and I'm aligning my life with him. So every time God does something successful, it's like, yes, that's awesome. My heart is aligned with it. And so it's easy for me to picture shouting for joy and so on. Verse 4 says, for the word of the Lord is upright. Well, praise befits the upright. If the word of the Lord is upright, you're in alignment, right? So you're excited when God does things. You're excited when you see the world through the eyes of someone who sees God's hand at work. And for an example, in verse 6, I'm kind of jumping around here, kind of working through this psalm together. You got to read the whole psalm to really appreciate this, but I'm going to give you some highlights. By the word of the Lord, the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth, all their host. And so God is speaking, and then creation is pouring forth. And it's like God just scored a first down. God created the sun and the moon and the stars. Like, touchdown, yes. Imagine the angels in heaven observing the creative process in the first 6 days. And then the crowning of creation, creating man. And Adam and Eve are brought into existence, and and they have this relationship with the God who created all things. How exciting would that have been to the angels? And the Bible depicts them that they were all cheering, they're all clapping their hands, right? They're all excited about this creative work of God. Yesterday, I don't know if many of you were up who normally watch the live stream in the early mornings. Well, right after I closed down the live stream yesterday, I walked out on my back deck, and it was raining. And the reason I was drawn out there was I saw this bright orange glow out on the skyline. So I walked out on my back deck, and simultaneously it's raining, but on the horizon is this bright, beautiful orange sunrise. Now, if I'm not wearing my game jersey that day, all I'm thinking is, wow, that's beautiful. But because my heart is upright, I'm one of the righteous, I know who God is, I know that God spoke all these things to existence. I look at that beautiful, glowing, orange phenomenon that only was there a few minutes. I'm like, yes, hey everybody, that's my God. My God did that. You want to cheer it and say, yeah, I'm aligned with that. That is my God's hand at work. So you can see these shouts for joy and the quality of my God, the power of my God. He speaks and creation is in existence. And so I'm going to keep reading for you. Verse 8. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the Lord stand in awe of him. I love this because everybody has an opportunity to join God's team, to wear his colors, and to be excited when they see God's hand at work. However, not everybody's going to wear his colors. There's going to be teams that try to oppose him. Verse 10. The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He frustrates the plans of the people because his counsel stands forever. So any nation who isn't donning the colors of God And they're thinking, okay, this is our year. We've worked hard in the off season. We developed these strategies that we think that this year we're going to do it. We're going to pull off the upset victory, right? And they're making their plans against God. And God's saying, really? Did you not see that I just spoke the world into existence? That I create all these things. I sustain all things. You think you're going to come up against me and win? It's like as if this Super Bowl Sunday, you have, we'll just say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady at the helm, and they're going to line up. But who is their opponent? Their opponent is Argonaut High School football team or Amador High School football team. Just the local guys out there, 16, 17 years old, and they're going to line up. Now, they maybe have a great coach, and they're all fired up before the game thinking, this is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to win. Nobody would bet, as much as we love our local boys, nobody would bet on them to beat a Super Bowl powered NFL team of elite athletes. There's no way, right? I mean, it seems foolish to think that they would have a shot at this. And this is the nations who take their counsel against the Lord. And the psalmist says, well, the Lord's counsel stands. It can't be frustrated. And then verse 12, by contrast, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people whom he has chosen as his heritage. And that's us. We're in God's colors, right? God has chosen us. And now our eyes and minds have been opened to the things of God, how his work in the world, and we can see it every day. Just like yesterday, we talked about waking up in the morning and praising God for his steadfast love. And we lay our heads down last night thinking, boy, God was faithful to me all day. And we just continue to praise about his faithfulness because God's character does not change. And when we are his people, his heritage, we're just always going to be on the winning team. And how blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And it's not just nations, it's not just teams that are opposing him, thinking they'll stand, and we're on the winning team all the time. It's right down to the individual. He says in verse 13, the Lord looks down from heaven, he sees all the children of man. From where he sits enthroned, he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth, who fashions the hearts of them all and observes all their deeds. In other words, God has created us. He's allowed us to be in existence. He's looking at all the things that we do. He sees it all. And verse 16, it says, the king is not saved by his great army. A warrior is not delivered by his great strength. The war horse is a false hope for salvation. No matter what the strategy is, God is simply the best of the best. There's nobody who can compare to him. Any plans that are contrary to the counsel of God will be thwarted. He says, verse 18, behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those whose hope is in his steadfast love, that he may deliver their soul from death and keep them alive in famine. And so the psalmist concludes. He's saying, shout for joy. This is great. God is the winner. He speaks planets into existence and stars. He gives them their name. He sustains all things. Entire nations are like Pop Warner football teams compared to elite NFL athletes. To God, it's like, yeah, you can plan all you want. You're not going to win. My counsel can't be thwarted. And my eyes are looking out, and I observe all those who are aligned, who are wearing my colors, who are cheering me on, and my heart is for them. I will deliver them. I will be their refuge. They can trust in me because I am upright. I'll never change. I'll never shift to the right or to the left. I'll never do anything that surprises you in the sense of acting outside of my character. And so the psalmist, taking all this in, concludes. This is verse 20. So our soul waits for the Lord. It's worth it. I mean, we're going to wait for God to act. I'm not going to go trust in something else to try to deliver myself out of this dilemma or my heart's struggles or whatever it is. I'm going to trust in God. I'm going to pray and meditate on Psalms like 33 and say, yep, God, I'm your fan. I'm the one who's trusting in you, and because your counsel never is thwarted. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart is glad in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we hope in you. So this weekend, if you think about the Super Bowl Sunday and how exciting it is, and partly what makes Super Bowl Sunday exciting is we don't know who the winner is going to be. I mean, it could be either team. Everybody's prognosticating what will be the outcome, and people are even laying bets, trying to determine who's going to win. The reality is, when you serve God, and if you're wearing God's colors, you are guaranteed to win. Our hope, our trust is in God, who from the beginning has demonstrated his power over all things. And every day we wake up and we come out and sit in places like this and see the beauty of God, see a beautiful sunrise, a beautiful sunset. We see the hand of God at work and we say, yeah, hey everybody, that's my God. I'm wearing his colors. That's my team right there. I'm proud. I'm loud and proud about the work and the handiwork of God, because I know my life is in his hands, and I fear him, and I trust him, and I honor him with my life. Therefore, I will wait on the Lord, and may his steadfast love be toward me, even as I put my hope in him. So I hope you have some fun with that. I read through Psalm 33 yourself and reflect on it and pray those words and enjoy being the fan, wearing the colors, the jersey of God, the Lord God Almighty today. He is a winner, and you are on his team. So Lord bless you today. I'll see you again tomorrow.